the lighting's terrible, but we're gonna do our best because girl, my light is in the middle of the room. What am I supposed to do? Anyways, I got natural lighting coming from like right here. I got a little, hold on, I got a lamp kind of whiteboard thing. Like, is that better or worse? I can't even tell. Oh, that's much, it's definitely, it helps a little bit at least. Okay. I literally keep trying to record videos, and when I go to edit them, they're just terrible. Like the last time I recorded it with this mic, the mic turned off halfway through the video and I had no idea, so the entire video was just done for. Like I couldn't my mic isn't even on. I just really like having something to hold, and I think it's funny. So this isn't even on. It's just like, it's just a prop right now, TBH. But anyways, I recently, and by recently I mean yesterday afternoon, saw, oh my gosh, I saw a screenshot of this book that I totally forgot that I ever read, and I thought it would be funny to do similar to my Lunar Chronicles recap, which, by the way, I love re-watching that Lunar Chronicles recap, because originally I was going to make it like an actual like recap video, like telling you everything that happened in the books. I recorded for so long doing those books that I recorded for like 3 hours straight and lost my voice because I was talking for that entire time, stopped, got my voice back the next day, kept recording, lost my voice again, and then finished it that same night without a voice. There was like 7 hours of footage from that, and so I was trying to edit it when I was originally doing that video. I was like, this is so exhausting, like I cannot do this. I don't want to sit here and watch myself for 7 hours. I know nobody else wants to watch me for 7 hours. I can't even watch it just to cut out all of the boring stuff. Or cut out all of the like unnecessary stuff to make it as short as possible. So I cut out all the necessary stuff to the context of the plot, and I just left all the funny clips in that I enjoyed. And I really love that video. I'm gonna try not to do that with this, because this whole thing is gonna be kind of on crack. I don't remember when I read this series, guys. It had to have been either 2023 or 2024. So we're in 2026. That was like at least 2 years ago. And by at least 2 years ago, I mean at least 2 years ago, not like late 2024. Because I didn't read it after I got back from summer camp. It had to have been before summer camp. Or in 2023, the year I graduated. So I barely remember anything. I remember part of the plot because it was whack, but we are I can't even take it seriously. I'm gonna tell you all about the series The Naturals by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. It's a 4-book series, apparently 5. They had another book, I never read it. But the 4 books in the main series were what I read, and I read these after reading the Inheritance Games, which I have 3 of the books here that I have not read, and they're like, because I've read the first 4, so these are like books 5, 6, 7.
I'm saying 6, 7, it's been a year now. It's literally almost 2026, so stop with that commenting. Stop commenting 6, 7. I know you're gonna comment 6, 7. Stop commenting 6, 6, 6, 7. I know you're gonna die.
I have not read them yet, but I read all of The Naturals by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, and I love her Inheritance Game series, but I'm so sorry, I was not a fan of The Naturals. It felt like a fanfic of Criminal Minds. So let me just jump right into describing this book series for you guys. And we're just gonna... Okay, so The Naturals by Jennifer Lynn Barnes is a book, and it centers around this main character. Her name, I'm like not center. Hold on, let me fix that. I'm the most important thing in the camera. Yeah, so you all have to deal with that. It centers around this girl. Her name is Cassie Hobbs. I'm pretty sure we open with her. She's living with her grandma, and her grandma's Italian, I think. She's living with her grandma and like all of her cousins and aunts and uncles and all of this in this tiny house. And because her dad left and her mom is dead, if I remember correctly. Her dad left them. Her mom died. She was killed. And so she's living with her grandma, and I think it's her dad's side's grandma. She has bright red hair, by the way. I feel like this is important, and I don't remember why, but it was very, very important to the story. Anyways, so some things are going down. She works at a diner, so she's at this diner, and she sees like this, it's like an older man and a teenager that's like her age, and he's like flirting with her. Because, you know, she's the main character. Everybody's gonna flirt with her, even though she thinks she's ugly, you know. This is young adult fiction. Everybody's like that. And he like, I don't remember if he instigated it or she instigated it, but they're just like profiling each other like Criminal Minds. Literally, this is a Criminal Minds ripoff, but they wanted teenage drama in it, so they made all of the characters teenagers. And some things go down, and she's really good at like reading people. Her mom worked for a circus as a pretend psychic and taught her all of the tricks. So Cassie is like, can fake being a psychic. Like, take The Mentalist, take Psych. She's Sean Spencer, basically. And so this boy, his name is Michael. I like Michael. Nobody else likes Michael, but I love him. And I was mad, I think, if I remember correctly, that Michael and Cassie did not end up together. Because they deserved each other. Truly. That's my opinion. I don't want to hear it. And, oh my gosh. This is such a bad idea. I don't even remember the name of the second book. Wait, I just remembered it. So the books go The Naturals, Killer Instinct, All In, and Bad Blood. We're gonna fast forward. Basically, she stops working at the diner, gets recruited to work for the Naturals program, which is a bunch of teenagers living in the same house and solving crimes for the FBI. Who let them do this? And she doesn't tell her grandma. She's just like, yeah, the state's taking me to this special school, blah, blah, blah. And her grandma's like, yeah, okay. But I don't think they really liked her anyways, because it was like her dad's side of the family, and they didn't like her mom. Anyway, so she's gonna go off and solve her mom's murder, I guess. Which was her whole, like, motivation for joining. And she joins all these Naturals. And so here's the breakdown of all the people that we have. We have Agent Briggs, I think. We have another agent. I don't remember his name because he gets replaced in one of the books. We have Michael. He is also a profiler, so I don't know why they needed Cassie, because they basically do the same thing. We have Dean, also another profiler. We have 3 of them. Oh my gosh. Anyways, Michael, Dean, Cassie, love triangle. Cassie's like she's like the middle of both of them. She's very broody but also like snarky, you know. And Michael was like the haha, like comedic relief love interest, and then Dean is just like the brooding, like sad person. It's basically the Inheritance Games, Avery Grayson Jameson, but before Jennifer Lynn Barnes really knew how to write a love triangle that was decent. And so she should have ended up with Michael, but instead she ends up being an emotional support partner for Dean after 4 books of going back and forth between the two of them. she ends up going with Dean, who literally cannot regulate his emotions, get him on some bipolar medication right now, and therapy, because why is he still refusing to go? Anyways, then we have Leah. I loved Leah. Leah and Sloane are the next two characters. They were my favorite characters in this series, bro. I'm not even joking. They're amazing. And Leah reminds me of, if you've read Warcross, I'm reading it right now. I'm reading the second book right now, so it's like on my mind. Leah kind of reminds me of Hammy from Warcross. She's like so cool. She's a human lie detector, and she just has the attitude, and I love that for her. I love when a girl's got a good attitude, and like, not, she doesn't have a good attitude, but she has an attitude, and I love it. And then we have Sloane, and she's the human, like, computer. She's a computer. She does statistics. She's like literally a calculator. She's like my dad, basically. Pause. That sounded weird. My dad is also a human calculator. I'm comparing her to his abilities, not saying that she's like a father figure to me. She is younger than me, and was when I read it. Anyways, so they're all living in this house. Obviously, shenanigans are gonna go down. Every single book, they're either playing Truth or Dare, Two Truths and a Lie, Strip Poker. Literally, they're playing something where they're all gonna be like 7 minutes in heaven in like 5 seconds. I'm like turning the page, please don't show me no nudity. And obviously they don't. This is like a closed door. I don't think there was even a sex scene in it. If there was, I don't remember. Like I said, it's been 2 or 3 years. Oh my god. Anyways, they solve like this one murder, and it's like super easy, blah blah blah. Cassie never follows directions for the entire book, and that's like her whole thing. Actually, I made memes about it when I first read it, because she just made me so mad all the time, and that's why I didn't like the book. She just so irritated me, because her entire personality was, I need to find out who killed my mother. My mother's dead. And everybody else is like, we also have trauma. How do you think the FBI found us? We weren't normal kids. Like, Michael's dad abuses him. Dean's father, spoilers, is a serial killer. I don't remember Leah or Sloane's things, but Sloane's backstory was devastating, and I'm so mad I don't remember what it was. Anyways, so at the end of like book 1, they find a serial killer that has a similar MO to Cassie's mom's death. And she's like, oh, I have to investigate this. And Agent Briggs is like, no, let's research it before you go off the rails and sneak out and go and do all these things by yourself, be a team player. And she's like, no. And I'm pretty sure she almost dies or gets kidnapped, as one does when they break out of their FBI safe house and go and track down a serial killer on their own with no backup or phone or weapon. Why am I doing this to myself? Anyways, we get to Killer Instinct, I think, next. and at this point, she's like, Cassie is like on the Dean train a little bit. She's not really like with Michael quite as much. Michael and Leah did have a little bit, they have like an on and off, very low-key toxic relationship where they get together, break it up, get together, break it up, and there's always like a valid excuse that they break up, but never a valid excuse for them to get back together. Like, please, let's learn some self-control. Can you please keep it in your pants for like 5 seconds? Oh my gosh, stop going back to her. Stop going back to him. I don't remember anything that happens in the second book except for that we find out that Dean's dad is a serial killer. And Dean was the one to catch him and report him to the FBI Special Agent Briggs. And then because stop. Because Special Agent Briggs was there investigating because the dad was a suspect. And Dean knew about it, and Dean saved Briggs's life. Please don't fact check me. I'm fine with being wrong about this, by the way. I'm fine with spreading misinformation about things like this. It's not worth it. Please don't fact check me. I think it's funny. I think that's what it was. Anyways, other things happen in book 2 that lead them to go in book 3 to Vegas. Vegas, baby. Also more shenanigans and more almost dying because Cassie can't listen to a stupid instruction. Oh my gosh, did she never go to school? Like, line up in the halls. She never even learned how to do that. She can't do anything. Anyways, book 3. Book 3 is cool, and I don't remember any of it, but I really liked it. Probably because there was gambling in it, and I really love gambling and playing cards. It's not an addiction. I don't spend any money. Like, I have all these playing cards and more. It's like, I'm pretty sure last time I counted was like 40 decks. 44. Pretty cool, huh? Anyways, they go to Vegas, and this is where we find Sloane's backstory, because I'm pretty sure that one of her parents used her and her mathematic abilities. No, wait, orphan, question mark. I don't remember, but she had a, like, devastating backstory, and it's crazy, because they're all staying at a hotel in Vegas. I want you to guess how that went. Yeah, they played strip poker. Obviously, while they're trying to track down a serial killer. Anyways, there's something about, like, the geographical point in, like, the place geographically where the killings were happening, and also they were happening in patterns of 7, I think, or 9, I don't remember, but the killings happened in different ways, right? So they were never tied together for literally almost 100 years, unless I'm wrong. It might not be that long or longer, I don't remember. Basically, there was, like, a few different MOs that people were killed through. So, like, they were... Can I say these words of violence? Anyways, lots of different MOs, you know, that have nothing to do with each other is how they killed people. And it happened in, like, specific places that, when graphed on a chart, creates a Fibonacci spiral. If you don't know what a Fibonacci spiral is, it's the most perfect spiral circle in the world, right? It uses math to graph completely perfect points. It is the symbol of perfection. It's like a conch shell, right? They use it in math or in art for, like, the rule of thirds, and, like, tiering and all of that. Anyways, so they use the Fibonacci spiral to graph the locations of these killings, and they're happening in a spiral, but they're spiraling in. And so the center point is Vegas. And also, as they come inwards, they're also becoming more and more common. It starts, like, they do, like, 1, and then the next year they do another 1, and the next year they do 2, and the next year they do 3, and then it just keeps going like that, unless it's months. It might be months, but I don't remember. And the math for the Fibonacci spiral, by the way, is you take the last 2 numbers, you add them together, and you get the third number. So it goes 0, 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, like, common. Like, you take the 0 and the 1, you add them together, 0 plus 1 is 1, 1 plus 1 is 2, 2 plus 1 is 3, 3 plus 2 is 5, 5 plus 3 is 8, 8 plus 5 is 13, and it just keeps going. It's an infinite loop, and because of that graph, it spirals. And so the dates lining up the math, because Sloane is a mathematician, she finds that every single number, oh wait, I forgot about one thing. The victims recently had been found with numbers on them, either, like, burned onto them, carved onto them, like, stuff like that. And they were numbers from the Fibonacci spiral. Now, this entire book revolves around the Fibonacci spiral because of the answers that we get in the next book and this book. So we're on book 3, and we've only spent 22 minutes talking about it. This is way better than 7 hours. Anyways, so long story short, because I don't remember anything, like, details that happened in this book, Cassie is back with Michael during part of book 3, and then she gets back with Dean after that. Make a choice. Oh my gosh. Basically, there's this cult that uses the Fibonacci spiral to kill people. And so the date, the location, who does it, which MO it is all based off the Fibonacci spiral. But there's this rogue person who was kicked out of the cult because they didn't want him. How do you get kicked out of a cult as a baby? How screwed up in the head do you have to be for a cult of serial killers to go, nah, that's too crazy. He's too much. Get rid of him. And they dropped him in the desert as a child. No, because I can't take it seriously. I can't. They said he's psychotic as they're actively killing people in a spiral of a seashell. Oh my gosh. And they thought, oh my bangs, and they thought he was too crazy. Babe, you just burned a person alive because of what date it was. Does your little circle not factor in other psychopaths? Anyways, Cassie's mother was one of the victims of the cult. So there's this guy, he's not following the pattern. He's following it too quickly. Like, he's rushing things. And also, each killer was only supposed to do one murder in the cult. They were only supposed to do one. So they weren't like serial killers. I can't do quotation marks, hold on. They weren't serial killers per se. They were a cult, a serial killing cult, but each person in the cult only did one killing. Anyways, so he's doing it wrong. So now the cult is hunting him down, and so is the FBI and the Naturals. I'm still caught up on the fact that you have 5 teenagers with raging hormones and mommy and daddy issues running around trying to catch serial killers. Why are you letting them do that? Why are you letting them go undercover? Why are you letting them go out investigating? Why are you not protecting them? Oh my gosh. I'm calling CPS. Another thing that makes me mad, Michael, his dad beats him like really bad, and they let him do that. The FBI allows it because Michael's dad is rich and funds the program. Let's run that back. They want money, so they allow this man to beat his teenage son. Why is my hair low-key giving early 2000s Debbie Ryan right now? Like, I know it's not red, but like... How do you do the smile? That was really scary. I'm just gonna put a picture. I can't do that. Okay, anyways. Back to... Book 4, it's called Bad Blood. Cassie gets kidnapped by a serial killer, and the serial killer has the same MO as Dean's dad, which is he allows them to run, and then he hunts them down for sport and kills them. Stop. She escapes. Also, at one point, Michael got shot because one of the agents that they replaced, the replacement was actually evil and part of the cult as well. Anyways, she escapes. I'm pretty sure either Agent Briggs or Dean, catches the bad guy. She finds her mom, not dead. Yay! So basically how it went was she spent 4 books complaining about the fact that her mother was dead. Every single time she got a chance. I've met people like that. They're so insufferable. Oh, my mom died. So we were actually talking about cereal, but my mom used to like cereal too. Stop! Oh my gosh. I can't do it. It just makes me mad. She spent 4 books mourning her mother and complaining about the fact that she was dead, found out that she might be alive, and continued complaining, found her mother alive. You're never gonna guess what happened. Also, she did have a little sister who was also part of the cult, because they used her mother as read between the lines. They went to go and kill the mother, and they ended up not killing her. And that's where the cult members came from after that. Because she was seen as the leader of the cult, but was really a prisoner. And they used her for her divine power because they thought she was actually psychic. But they also just completely abused her and kept her in chains for her entire time of being kidnapped, which was years and years, by the way. Anyways, so Cassie ends up killing her mother in the last book. I'm gonna put the memes that I made in the video because I think they're funny. I think I only made 1 or 2, but they made me so mad. It is a cool vibe though, the teenagers just knowing everything and fighting crime and each other, you know. Am I missing anything? she ends up with Dean. And I think at some point they do arrest Michael's father, and so they do get a little bit of respect from me gained back from that, but yeah, it was rough. So that's The Naturals by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, all 4 books as I remember them. This was so bad, but I'm gonna post it anyways because I think it's funny. And maybe I like doing the character edits. I think they're so funny. I don't care if you guys don't like them. This channel is mostly to make me laugh. I'm literally crying. Oh my gosh. Because how are you gonna complain for 4 books about the fact that your mother is dead, find out she's alive, and then shoot her? Okay, I'm sorry. There was a valid reason she was psychotic from the years of torture and being used as a human incubator, but, like, they took down the cult, so that's good. I bet you can't look at a Fibonacci spiral the same way now. You're gonna be like, oh, that's for serial killers. I like Fibonacci spirals. Okay, I love you guys. Goodbye.